Oh, I had those nuts.
Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. Joining me today, we've got Dina and Debbie, and we've got lots of friends that we will talk and meet with here in just a moment. But before we go into that, it is time for Mike's Pet Peeves. Of course, Mike's Pet Peeves is my opinion, not the opinion of the board or anybody in particular, just my thoughts. What really drives me crazy is when people put trash in the recycle bin. You know, I mean, it's called the recycle bin for a reason. That's like, yeah, sure, you can fit a dead body in the trunk, but that's not what we do with the trunks. We put normal stuff in the trunks. Can you please quit using your recycle bin as trash can be? But what drives me more batty than that, when owners don't do some simple concept of notification of who their dog is. Write it on a Sharpie on the collar, a phone number to get a hold of you. Microchipping is very easy these days. It happens that dogs are escape artists. They go over and under and through doors that I didn't even think. I swore I closed that door, but somehow they got out. It happens. But if there is a name, a phone number, a tag, a microchip, we can get that animal back to you as quickly as possible. And usually when that happens, it is extremely less costly due to administrative fees and all the other. So, moral of the story here, please just do the simple thing. Write the dog's name, write your phone number. You know, the dog's name does help, but we also need a way to contact you. So the phone number, the dog tags, man, we used to do them all the time. Now for some reason I see dogs with collars and no tags at all. Just the name, phone number, little simple stuff like that. And we would be able to return the dogs to you as quickly as possible. Or cats, yes, dogs, cats. I'm a lover of both, but I like dogs more. So ladies, speaking of dogs, we've got several very furry, happy friends with us today.
We do.
And who do we have with us?
So we have Sadie is the Mastiff. She is 6 years old. She actually did come to us as a stray. She had a microchip. We didn't get a hold of the owner, but they had given her away. Oh. Then that person gave her away, and then she came in to us. So we don't know.
No following through when you get a pet that's already microchipped to call the chip company and update the information.
Right. So
that's
if you do get a chip,
you
need to follow through with that.
Right.
So now she's available for adoption. And this little gal is Jade, and she is about 2 years old, and she came to us as an owner surrender because she is, like you said, an escape artist. She goes up and under, so she's going to need someone who's going to spend time with her and be home with her and things like that.
Now, does Sadie, does she need a lot of space? She's a huge dog, but I mean, does she need acres and acres, or what kind of requirements would you think would go with Sadie?
Since she's older, she would, apartment living probably wouldn't be the best situation because that is pretty small.
That is.
But I mean, she's not like a horse or cow or something that needs acres. She just needs, a decent sized yard that she can, because she still does like to run and play. She likes to play ball, stuff like that. So she does need some room, but acres isn't necessary.
So there's lots of things. And then I'm sure that Jade here, she doesn't need all that much room other than
not really.
The escaping room.
She's a Chiweenie, so she's a Dachshund Chihuahua. So apartment living she could do. Just so people are walking her and things like this, so that she has that bonding time with her people to where she's not going to want to leave.
Now, during the holidays, do you see more of an income of animals, or do you just see the normal intake, or what is with the holidays around?
Typically we see a lot of older dogs coming in. People are trying to make room for puppies and kittens and things like this. So we do see older animals coming to the shelter. And it's been kind of like a average, I would say. Throughout the years, it hasn't been like one year's really high. It's pretty much steady.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Well, that's sad, but that is a very valid point. This time of year, people. My dog, we did get, when we got him, he came from a single mother that had a 1.5-year-old that thought it would be a great Christmas present. You know, you kind of got to think these things through. It's not just about the picture with Santa, it's the long picture, because Sadie, you're going to be around for a while, aren't you?
It's a lifetime commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, and the kids, you know, depending on their age, they grow up, they go off to college or something, and you still have the pet. You know, so yeah, a lot of times it's just the cute fluffiness of it and everything, but you don't think the long term.
Right.
And it helps if people think the long term.
And obviously, if someone does get a pet for Christmas, if it came from the shelter, it would have been spayed or neutered. But that is a very important thing to do to pets this time of year. Now, that being said, didn't the Humane Society just get a grant?
We got a grant just in the mail yesterday for spay and neuter. And this is what we apply to from the Arizona license plate grant.
Okay.
And this is to help our community spay and neuter their pets that they have at home.
I've got a magic biscuit.
It's
Sadie.
It's $25 to spay or neuter a cat is what it'll cost the person, and $35 for a dog.
Wow.
So now's the time to call out there, 928-368-5295, and get in our scheduling. That $10,000 goes very fast, you know, and it's a win-win for people. A lot of times, you know, people can't afford the prices that spay and neuter is otherwise, but with this grant, they can. And then they can also potentially afford the $20 for a microchip or vaccinations that they need then too, that can be done while they're in the clinic.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, get the microchipping done at the same time you're getting the spay and neuter done.
And then we go ahead and we register all that information. As a person that gets a microchip, whether it's at a spay and neuter clinic or, you know, through an adoption or something, if you move, change your phone number, any of that, they need to update the microchip company. You know, it's sad when they are microchipped because you cared enough to make that move and microchip them, but you forget to call and update those microchips.
Right.
So with the spay and neuter grant, you know, last year we also were lucky enough to have $10,000 to help our community. And we just finished that up. I want to say, was that November, October? It took us less than 10 months to use this $10,000.
Wow.
So that's the need that we have in our community.
Right.
And so we are trying to help our community with this. So
not only are we helping save lives and finding forever homes, but there's a community outreach. I mean, we're helping control the population and everything to that extent. Now, me and you have talked, and you've told me there's many other health benefits to getting your dog spayed and neutered. Remind the public what some of those are.
You know, there's and Debbie, you chime in here too, there's the mammary cancer.
The mammary cancer on females. There's also, I mean, the males can get testicular cancer. There's another infection that the females can get in their uterus. It's called pyometra, and at that point, if they do get that, then that would be an emergency spay. Okay. And at that point, it's going to be pretty costly. So you could have taken care of that previously by getting them spayed earlier.
Right.
Well, and then there's the roaming. You know, the males running around because, you know, love is in the air and they can smell that, and you know, so they get out of their secured places, and they go. Your dog can get hit or picked up by somebody, come up to us, and you never come looking for it. You never even think to look at the only Humane Society on the mountain. You know,
that's another issue. Is that when something does happen to your animal, it does go missing. That it surprises me how people don't call the Humane Society right off the get-go.
Right.
It really does. It floors me. I mean, we are the Humane Society. The Navajo County and Apache County bring animals to you.
Yeah, and Navajo County Animal Control brings them to us.
Right.
We help Apache County when we have room,
Okay,
and that's by their
okay.
citizens, you know, the people that find them and stuff. And then so does the town of Pine Top Lakeside.
Right.
They bring all the animals they find to us too. So, but you know, Navajo County's big.
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
we've had dogs come to us from over in the Winslow area and Joe City, and you know, anywhere in Navajo County, your pet could end up with us.
Wow. So yeah.
When we ask people, yeah, they call us, but when they call us, we ask them, you know, come on over, because your description could be different than our description. If it came from the same area, we're kind of like, no, maybe,
Okay.
but you need to come by
And really identify
see.
your well, they
We
need to
had
come pick
one
up your
person had called and said that they were missing a dachshund, but it was actually a purebred Cocker Spaniel. So, I mean, situations like that.
Okay.
Where they don't particularly know what the breed is, maybe, but
Those are
And we see different
separate
colors,
right,
you know?
different colors. So
You know?
a lot of people would call this dog tan, and I'd call this dog red.
You'd call that dog red?
Red.
Red.
Right.
See this? Okay, I can see
And
where
so
our
you see
miscommunication.
what we're
Yeah, because
saying,
I
you know?
would not. Light brown, maybe tan, red.
Yeah,
But
you
I
know?
get that. Okay, so yeah, there is that miscommunication sometimes.
Absolutely, and that's a big thing too, you know. So if you can come, it's always best to, because one of our techs will take you right back to the back and show you all the stray animals we have, you know, and what we think might potentially be yours from your description. So yeah, it's just sad that we can't return more home. You know, the beginning of 2019, I put that out there on Facebook, and that's another thing we always do is list all stray animals as they're coming in. So
good.
please watch our Facebook. But I put it out there, you know, that with the community's help, hopefully we can reunite more animals with their owners.
Right.
And then I think probably 3/4 of the way through the year, I put out there that I was, you know, we hadn't returned as many as we'd like to. And what do we have to do to make it possible for people to find their pets? And, you know, we always talk on the radio show and on this show, you know, please, if you've lost your pet, come see us. Put in a report with us.
Right.
You know, because we may not have your pet today, but we could get it next week.
Right.
You know, so, and that's happened before.
And just because people should also pass the word to their friends or whatever, just, I
Absolutely.
mean, pass the word. If, hey, because my dog gets out, I'm going to call like 3 or 4 friends. So, you know,
Absolutely.
help them get that moved along.
Absolutely.
So we are going to come back in just a couple moments, and we will continue talking about some of the things going on there at the Doghouse Thrift Shop, things we've got planned. It's actually going to be a very big year. 2020 is going to be very big for the Humane Society. We'll talk about all of that coming up, and we'll have more pet dander in just a moment. Right here on Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. Welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley, and joining us today, we've got Dina and Debbie and Sadie and Jade. And they're at the Humane Society. Feel free and swing down there. You got some time, take the kids, go see the animals out there. I'm sure they would love to see some pretty faces, and who knows, you might even bump into somebody that you can't walk away without, such as this adorable face. Look at his squishy face. He's so squishy, so squishy, and a little wet, but it's all part of the goodness. Now, we were saying the Humane Society has got a lot of things going on for 2020.
We do.
So, what do you got planned? We
Well-
building an amusement park, or?
No, but if we win the lottery, we may,
Okay,
you know.
I'm all
we're
for that.
leaving that open. Well, we've got, you know, in the spring we'll start off with our adoptions that we go down to the valley and join in with PAC 911. And we'll start doing that probably any time now. And then we'll do at least 2 or 3 of those with them. Those are always great events down in the Phoenix area because we usually adopt 90 90% of all the animals we take down there with us. So it's always really, really rewarding. And she's just trying to sit, I think.
Right.
And then in June 20th, we are going to be having our, because we're 50 years old. In 2020, we're 50 years old.
Holy cow.
So we're really excited about having a big open house and party on that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on June 20th.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Happy Tales will be starting long before that. We'll start working on it.
Right.
So we're looking for great volunteers that want to join us with any of these events. And also a chair. I need a chair for Happy Tales, which is going to be on August 29th. And in between all this, we'll have adoption events going on at PetSense. They'll do a national one, and just, I mean, any numerous things. And you know, our community gets involved with us, and there's so much more opportunities for more people to get involved with us. Like volunteering, you know, this is the time of the year where it's very hard on our kennel techs, when it's real cold and wet, and you know, to get all these dogs out, but they have to, but yet they still have their jobs to do, which is harder when the ground's frozen.
Right.
And they're trying to clean with everything freezing as fast as they're spraying. So we could always use more great volunteers to help exercise these dogs, socialize them, laundry and dishes.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of opportunity with us. And you know, in the winter time, I always say it's kind of depressing if you're shut in all the time.
Yes. Yes.
I would be very depressed. I don't like to go out when it's cold and snowy, but the option's there.
Right.
You know, and so if you have something that you want to do, so you're not going cabin crazy, you know, come on out, join us, be a volunteer. You know, the other opportunities with that is over at our doghouse. You know, we've got opportunities there. We'll have big sales. You know what? I'm going to stop right there and talk about our doghouse just a little bit.
I was just about to ask you. Now, there's something about a green guy waving around, and that means you better get your butt inside.
Yeah, there's a big sale going on.
Okay.
So the manager over there, Les, he puts that big balloon guy out there on his big sale days.
Okay.
And so if you're not a regular customer, or if you are, you probably already know this because he's telling people, that's when they've got a big sale going on.
Okay.
So, and it's out there quite a bit. You know, it's that doghouse is our everyday fundraiser for the Humane Society.
Right.
So when you're donating your gently used items there, or when you're shopping there, when you shop there, all that money's coming back to us.
Now, I want to bring something up about the doghouse. The quality of the items that we sell there at the doghouse. These are not second-hand junky items. These are quality products that have been donated to us. So it's not as much a thrift shop, really.
You know,
it's the doghouse.
Correct. And so many of there's a lot of things that have tags on them still, brand new.
Right.
So we're very lucky that our donors are very generous to us with very nice items. We go through them, and the crew over there, they test any electronics, lights, fans, anything that's electric, microwaves, all that kind of stuff. They test them before they put them out. So it is in working, clean, good condition. You know, our goal is to always be above a thrift shop, you know.
That's exactly, okay. Yes,
we're a little above that, you know.
Well put.
So, you know, it doesn't stink in there. We don't put out dirty, nasty things, and you know, we're proud of our thrift shop.
Right.
We're very proud of what our staff does over there and our volunteers, and it takes a lot of work, and yet they're always willing to go that extra mile and do what it takes. Mike, you got your hands full.
No, this is actually how I relax on a afternoon.
Nice. Come here, Sadie. Come here, Sadie.
I was getting the stretchy of that muscle right
there. And how'd that work out for you? Pretty good?
Yeah. Thanks, Sadie.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, now we need to do the other side.
Yeah.
Come on. No. Okay.
And you know something. With the events that we have going on next year, I hope everyone got their newsletter. If not, they can get on the website and look at it. And there's the events we have going on, because in April, the first Tuesday in April will be Arizona Gives Day.
Love that.
Yes, and that's always a very win-win for the animals there at the shelter. That's a giving day.
Right.
And we definitely ask for you to give to us, because people like Sadie and Jade, and there's Oh my goodness, we've taken in so many animals this last year, and we just need the help. You know, the problem that we deal with is not just our problem. It's the community problem, so we need the community support. And you know, there's several things, even if you can't afford to make a small donation, because every donation counts.
Right.
You know, you can give of your time, or you can share some of the photos we put out and things like that.
That's a big one. That's a very easy one to do as well. You are very good about posting when a stray comes in. You say the area it came from. A simple share. I mean, if you're going to share a meme with some old lady and a cat talking back and forth to each other, why can't we actually share a useful picture and get the animals back to where they belong?
Right. Continue or start to help us help them.
And that requires zero effort. Very
zero effort, you know. And so we've got the Arizona Gives Day on the first Tuesday in April, and before that we're going to send out the No Show Fur Ball.
No Show Fur Ball.
And that is just the cutest, isn't that just the cutest thing?
Yeah,
people just love that. The idea from Michelle when she came up with that over at High Five has just been, I mean, we get all these cute little things back along with a donation saying this is the cutest one yet, or this is so cute, you know. So I think there's a rescue or something down in the valley that actually saw it, and they're kind of doing something similar because they thought it was such a great idea.
Well, it is, and I love how there's not a deadline. You can just mail in your No Show Fur Ball any time of the year you want.
And you know, Mike, that happens too, because that usually comes out in February.
Right.
And the end of the year, we're getting some trickling in, and it's really nice that, you know, if people want to help and they can't help right now, help when you can. Every little bit helps. And Sadie, come here. Sadie, she's ready to leave. Sadie's had enough of being a movie star. I think. She's probably hot. So we've got all that going on, and again, you know, then we'll do a winter raffle. I don't know how many people seen our winter raffle this year.
It did very well. It did pretty well.
It did, and that was a season ski pass.
Right.
So to Sunrise. I mean, how lucky is somebody there?
Somebody.
You know. So it's fun. It's, you know, it's so, and I just want to say, when people wonder why we're always asking or always doing things to get money, people need to realize that we're not supported by any big organization. We're our own entity.
That brings up recently in the past news, the American Humane Society has come under a lot of scrutiny due to mismanaged funds. And the fact that we are separate from them.
I think that was probably the Humane Society of the United States.
That's what it was.
Not the American Humane. Okay. There is an American Humane, so I just want to get that straight.
Okay, so yes, it was the Humane Society.
Yes, and because it says Humane Society, we say Humane Society of the White Mountains. People seem to think that we are affiliated with them, and we're not. We're not funded. We're not. They don't govern us. We do our own thing.
Right.
With our board of directors, underneath the direction of our volunteer board of directors, and you know we're not funded by any of them, and so that's why we're constantly trying to bring in more money. You know, last year we took in, was it probably close to 1,300 animals. We'll have that
1,392.
1,392 animals.
Not being specific or anything.
Right.
You're not a numbers person, are you?
I am a very big numbers person. I can remember all kinds of numbers.
Well, you have to. You've got to remember 1,300 dog names in and out in a year.
Honest
Holy
to gosh,
goodness.
This girl can do it. She will, if a dog comes back into us, we call them repeat offenders. And she'll go, oh, that's so-and-so, and they're in our system. You can call their parents, you know? And it's like, you remember that from a year ago, you know? So yeah, Debbie's very good at her job as shelter manager. She remembers every animal and everything that happens in there, I think. That was fun. That was really fun.
Did we get the camera? That would have been great. Just a big old slobber splotch right on the, did we miss that? Okay.
No, it's on you, Mike. Oh. They're still getting it.
Great.
So anyway, so that's why we do the things we do. We're always doing fundraising. We're always doing, you know, and we're putting things out there for the community, you know, just like the spay and neuter grant. And, you know, when we have our big party for our 50th. We want our community to come, you know, come see us, do a full tour. We are going to be doing full tours of our facility that day. And that is probably one of the rare things that we do, because a lot of people just see the adoptable animals. What they don't realize is we have 2 more buildings full of dogs. And we have 2 areas for cats also that have not made it through the system yet.
Will you have the video playing about how different it was
how we
from?
Started,
oh
yes.
Man, it's going to be when the public does see the video of what the Humane Society started at and what they've come to now. It's just amazing leaps and bounds what is being accomplished for the animals here on the White Mountain. So that is just about going to do it for us today. Thank you, ladies, very much for joining me today. I do want to put a shout out there as actually a member of the board of directors. Out of all the staff and stuff that I have in my own business, other businesses, staff I've seen at other businesses, the Humane Society of the White Mountains by far has the best staff, hands down. The amount of love that they have for each other, the amount of love that they have for the animals, and straight up the amount of love that they actually have for the life that they lead is amazing. And that goes for the shelter workers as well as those putting in the hard work there at the doghouse. So from the board of directors, guys, we really thank you and all that you do. We also thank you so very much, Dina. That's going to do it for us today, and we will see you next time right here with hopefully not Sadie. Right here, Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. We'll see you.